Soraya, you are coming to Munich for 2 workshops this year, so we wanted to give our participants a little bit more information about you, present you, and talk about your whole experience.
Okay.
So we start with little questions about your knitting experience. When did you start to knit?
I started knitting, I think, like everybody when I was in school, but I really didn't do so much, to be honest. And I think I really started knitting when I was a teenager because I was always wanted to do my own clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to go also like a fashion designer and everything because I was super creative in these years. So I started to knit. The first thing I knitted was a small puppet. It was not an amigurumi because we don't know about amigurumis, at least in Spain in that years. It was the 90s. So I was knitting the Sonic Youth puppet on the cover of the Sonic Youth Dirty. This is one of my favorite bands. So it's in the cover, there's like a toy, and I crochet. Well, I knitted this toy, and it's funny because this little toy is made in crochet, but I made it in knitting because I was hating crochet when I was a teenager.
Well, crochet is a big thing in Spain, I understand.
Yeah, but when I was a teenager, for me it was like the thing of the old ladies and everything. So I just ran from crochet, like yeah.
I still do because it's not good for my wrists. I like the texture, but
Yeah,
like for my wrist, knitting is a lot better.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you knit? I learned over the years that many knitters all over the world have different techniques to knit, and I'm always gobsmacked when I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm the normal continental way, but I learned a little bit to purl like the Russians do.
Yeah, that's
Easier
interesting.
pull
Yeah.
it in, yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you do? Do you throw it like the Americans?
When I started, I knit like the most of the Spanish people in that years, like the 80s, 90s and everything. And I was like a thrower.
Yeah.
So I knit like the English style, so to say.
Yeah.
I think in Spain it comes from France more, but I do it like the throwing style. But I was always bad on that. It's like I really see my grandmother like doing this like super fast and super clean, and I was this kind of thrower, like. So yeah, and now I can do it in honor of my granny, but in that years I was like doing these kind of moments. So then I discover continental style, like on the 20s or something, and I just go to continental. And now I can knit with both. And when I do color work, I use both hands.
Yeah. All right. I've read in your biography that you studied history of arts.
Yeah.
That's so different to being a knitting designer, isn't it? Or not?
Yes and not. You can see there are so many things there that are related to arts too.
Yeah.
Well, I study arts because I wanted to study design, but in that years, the schools of design were really, really, really expensive in Madrid. And well, I didn't want to ask that to my parents. It's like I was always super independent. So I decided I want to go to the public university, and arts were well, it was the closest thing to design because I was between the philosophy and the arts. So I was in this kind of studies. I do some artworks my own, like when I was like on my 20s and something. And then I was working for a gallery. And in that moment, I received a knitting machine as a gift. And that's the moment I decide to start trying to know how to make patterns. So I started like in the more industrial way to doing patterns, like for knitting for companies or something. And then is when I decide to start doing like knitting patterns for knitters.
Okay. Where do you take the inspiration from for your designs? From art or from?
Yes, I think I have so many inspiration from art, also from music.
Okay.
Many of my designs are named after songs of bands that I like, because it's something that I want to transmit to my universe and to the. It's something that I think it feels like connecting with other knitters, because when they saw that you like this kind of music or something like that, it's like you start a conversation. And I really think that knitting is about start conversations. So it's like an excuse, like breaking the ice. And when the people recognize that, I don't know, for example, I have for Sora here, and this is really popular. And this is like, this is named after a Björk song. So every time they know that it's a Björk song, they say, you like Björk, so blah, 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 and start about knitting. And that's funny, because I said before that I hate crochet when I was teenager, and now I'm doing so much patterns that look like crochet. So
but they look like crochet, but it's knitted, or?
This is knit. This is
knitted. No,
yeah,
I remember this design. Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's karma.
Yeah. Now the texture of crochet is really, really nice. I like that.
Yeah. The texture of crochet is really nice.
Yeah. So we took from your huge portfolio, we decided for 2 workshops on Munich Knits this year. And the first one is about top-down sweaters. And the second one is about steeking. Let us dive into the details of what knitters get out of the top-down sweater one, because the first Get-Out workshop is full already, and we scheduled an additional one for Friday afternoon. So let's tell knitters what exactly they will learn there.
Okay, so I'm going to bring here some of the constructions that we are going to see during the workshop. Well, the idea of this workshop is to give an overview of the top-down construction. So they are going to learn how to take measurements in the first place. Because I think it's a thing that is really like easy thing, but we don't know exactly which measures we have to take in our bodies, and exactly where we have to take it and how we have to take it. So first part of the class is going to be about how to take our own measurements, or take it to a friend, or things like that. Then we're going to try to understand the construction of the shoulders and what we can do to cover this 3-dimensional shape, because we can do different things. So we are going to explore about the raglan sweater. We are going to explore about, I'm going to show you here. So we are going to explore the raglan depth and how to adapt it to different sizes. Okay, we are not going to go deep into the grading, because we are not going to have time for that. It's really a thing. But we are going just to know about which kind of measurements they can take to not just designing their own patterns, but adapting their patterns. I think it's the good thing of this class is that this could be for junior designers that want to explore a little bit more about how to design their own garments, but also about also for knitters, like they just want to these kind of things, like, okay, my shoulders are bigger than my chest, or things like that. So we are going to explore how to solve these kind of issues in different patterns. So
yeah, it is only so much you can do in a pattern, no? It's everyone is different, and you have to adapt it if you really want to fit it.
Yeah, that's it. Because of course, I think patterns are coming better and better from some years from now, but all bodies are different. So it's better to know what to do and how to manage this kind of measurements to your own specific measurements.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will go through the raglan. We will go also, we are going to go deeper in this kind of construction, because this kind of construction has show rows to shape all the back or the front, and also like the cap of the sleeve. So I think it's really interesting, and if you know how to do this construction, you're going to know how to do all the other. So we will go through this setting sleeve construction. We are going, of course, going a little bit through the yoke construction. This is the one that I explain less, so to say, because I think it's more easy. So we just go a little bit on that, and we focus on...
It's a regular increase, so it's
yeah,
easy, no?
yeah, that's it. So we focus a lot on how to build like the shoulders and the sleeve caps.
Okay.
So, and with that, it's a lot of information.
Yeah, and I guess everyone in the workshop will have questions as well. So there's
it's an intense workshop, and I want it's kind of theoretical workshop. But I really love this workshop, and I really love the faces of the students when we go through the drawings, and we just see different measurements and how to change it and everything. So I think it's a little bit like blow-minding, so I really hope they like it.
Okay, and the second one we decided for is a really, really technique everyone's afraid of, especially me.
No, you don't have to. You don't.
I learned to cut some things if something is too long or so. I certainly do meanwhile, but sticking a fair pattern, I didn't do it yet.
No, it's really, really easy. So I bring here this cardigan.
Okay, I love that one.
Yeah, and this cardigan is made with a stick. I'm going just to unbutton that. Of course, we are not going to make a cardigan in the workshop, but we are going to make a little small swatch. We're going to see how we can just reinforce everything, which are the most convenient yarns to do the sticking, because of course, there are yarns that are not so convenient. Anyways, if you do it okay, I have seen people sticking even cotton. So not my thing, but there's people that wants to live on the risk side of the world. So yes, we are going to see how just to reinforce this. I don't know if you can see here, but I just added like a band.
Yeah.
So
to hold the stitches.
So we are going to see how to reinforce everything, and also we are going to see how to carry the threads behind. It's like a kind of color work sticking class, because they will have some homework, but we are going
floats, you mean, behind.
So we are going to end this homework in the workshop. It's the first part of the class. So we are going to know how to carry the floats after in the wrong side of the work. And then we are going to see how to cut. And I'm going to show them also different places where they can stick, because normally we do it like on the cardigans, like here, but we can do it also, for example, for gilets, for the vests, also for the sleeves. So there are different places where we can do the sticking technique. So we are going to see kind of this too.
Okay, and I guess participants have to bring their own scissors for it.
Yes, of course. Yes, because this is something funny when I do this class, when I travel abroad, because you cannot wear scissors, you cannot take your scissors in the plane. So I always have to ask for scissors to the festival's director. So Claudia brings scissors for me.
Okay, I try to remember.
Yeah.
All right. So that rounds it up, I think. We are looking forward to having you in Munich very soon.
Yes.
This year without snow.
I wish
we all pray for it.
Yeah, last year was really fun because I got into the plane 3 times.
Yeah, that's
and then
stressful.
Finally I just got to come back home.
And me in the morning, I really thought still, oh, that looks very romantic. Great.
Yeah.
We didn't have snow in Munich for such a long time. And then the bad news came piling in from trains and planes.
Yeah, it was really a thing. Yeah. I really thought that I was going to go. Like when I just got in the plane for the second time, I said, okay, we are going to go. But then the third time I said, okay, nah, they are just going to making time or something. I don't know.
All right, I clap here.